All right. Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day and you are getting ready to go out, unless you are across the Atlantic Ocean or in Asia. If you are in Asia, you are now recovering from your New Year's. And if you are in Europe somewhere, you are literally just about to go out. Hope everyone is doing well. The charts are once again going to be quick, and I'm just going to keep an eye on your live chat. And we can just have a little bit of a chat. As you guys see behind me, the Unconfiscatable conference is on sale. Today is the last day of the sale. If you want to get tickets at the lowest price the ticket will be sold, today's the day. Price will go up tomorrow. We, of course, did sell some tickets, a decent amount, actually, for the first week of ticket sales. And they'll be on sale all year long until they sell out. And the sellout for this event is 400 tickets, basically. Once 400 tickets are gone, and that includes, the speakers and some of like some press. So there's probably closer to 350 tickets actually going up on sale. And if we sell out by August, sorry guys, I will not be able to do anything about it because that's just the number of seats that we have, and that's it. So buy your ticket now, because you don't want to be messaging me in October saying, "Hey, Tom, can I get a ticket?" Like, the goal is to sell this out way ahead of time, so we plan it right and wouldn't have to worry about ticket sales, the day before the conference. All right, let's go to the charts, see what's going on. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's see what we got in the live chat. Yeah, Happy New Year, Stefan and Daniel. Justin Trudeau's in chat. I'm sure it's not the real one. That'd be crazy. Panita Winter, Happy New Year to you as well. Crypto story. No 20K again until 2024. It's possible. It's possible. Oh, wait, what happened to my... 1 second. I was going to show you something quick, something cool. Let me see. This might be a bad idea, though. This might be a really bad idea. Hold on. I want to add a tab. Let me delete this. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can drop the URL. Okay, awesome. All right, let's go to the charts. Here we go. Okay, our year chart. We're actually going to close the year right near the lows. That seems to be a pattern for Bitcoin. It always seems to find a way to close the year right at the lows. And then it gets that really bad year. And then all the Bitcoin haters get to say how much Bitcoin loses in 1 year for the next 3 years during the bull market. And they only remember the bad year, and they don't realize that it like doubles and triples in price during the good years. Like doubles and triples in price from the prior all-time high during the good years. Shruti always asks non-trading related questions. See, this is why the future of this podcast is probably not going to be trading, and trading will be moved to the Financial Summit's YouTube channel. Most of your questions are very Googleable, Shruti. I think drinking 3 to 4 liters of water a day is absolutely terrible for your body, and peanut butter is very, very unhealthy. So you shouldn't eat that either. Those are very, very simple questions. I mean, all eggs are okay, but range pastured eggs are the best, and it's not even close. Like I can be at a farmer's market and I can buy eggs from 3 different farmers, all organic, all free range. And my favorite one, I can tell the difference. You crack all 3 different eggs open, and I'll tell you which one is my favorite farmer because I can tell by the egg yolks which one is mine, which one I always buy from. You can tell by the color when you really start paying attention to what kind of eggs you eat. All right, back to the charts. Enough health stuff. Though health and nutrition is my priority 1 for New Year's. Weekly chart, nothing has changed. We fell a little tiny bit. The weekly chart is still pointing to a drop to lower prices. So if you have, fiat on the sidelines, I wouldn't rush. I would wait to buy at lower prices. Someone put a comment about me and talking about Bitfarms. Oh, Tone's never going to buy Bitfarms. He was thinking about it at 75 and then 50, and then it went to 37. Yeah, I'm going to buy it when I think it's the right time to buy it. I'm glad. Well, if I would have bought at 75, I would have looked stupid right now, wouldn't I? So why would I buy it at 75 if it's not the best time to buy? And I never buy anything between Christmas and New Year's. So unfortunately, I did not get a chance to buy it right here at 37 cents because that's in the week between Christmas and New Year's. And I never buy anything at that time. And it was unfortunate that I already missed a 20% move in Bitfarms. And the last day of the year had a really good day. And I was traveling. I was traveling yesterday. I was traveling from Miami to Panama. So I didn't make it. I didn't get a chance to buy it. So I'll see what happens next week. If next week it goes up to 60 cents, I probably will never buy. But if next week it's sitting below 40 cents, I probably will. Actually, if it's below 40 cents, I definitely will. I think the CEO change was a very good move, and the market tells me it's a good move, right? I let the price tell me whether the replacement of the CEO at Bitfarms was bullish or bearish. And the answer should be very clear. You shouldn't have to ask me, is the change of CEO good or bad? It's clearly good. If it was bad, it would have crashed. Like, let the free market tell you whether a move is good or bad. And it's very, very clear that the CEO change was good. The stock went up on the announcement by 10%. 10% move in the stock. So clearly, the replacement of CEO is a great thing. Also, we were looking at Mara. Do I have Mara on this list? I don't. So we can put Mara right here. Mara is interesting because it's on a daily MRI buy inside a weekly MRI buy. Like, this is what I find super interesting, and an extension seed. So that's another option for you. Again, I like Bitfarms because I'm more familiar with Bitfarms and I trust Bitfarms more. But there's nothing wrong with Mara. It was like a $90 stock at one point, $80 stock, and now it's $3. That is a bargain discount. Now, of course, as time goes on, these miners make less and less money because there's less Bitcoin coming out. Well, in 1 year, there'll be less. And there's more and more competition as the hash rate rises. Very competitive field. Very, very competitive. Hey, it's Side Tony. Thanks for joining us. So let's go back to the charts. Nothing to say on the allocation chart. Oh, hey guys, I know I haven't made the Consensio public yet, but here's what I'm thinking. By the way, this is the Unconfiscatable YouTube channel. If you go to all the channels I follow, Lucid Investments, probably all the way at the bottom. Tyler Jenks's old channel, may he rest in peace. Wow, there's Ugly's channel. Oh boy. I follow a lot of channels, but most of these people are friends of mine. Like, how do you not follow your friends' channels? I can't even find Lucid Investments. Wow, it didn't show up. Interesting. Okay, I guess we're going to it the old-fashioned way. Or is it the hyper? Sorry, it's the Hyperwave YouTube channel. My bad. It's the Hyperwave channel. That's why I was looking for Lucid Investments. The Hyperwave channel. So I promised I would release Consensio workshop, and I will, but I want to do it as a premiere, and I want to watch it like with you guys and participate in the live chat. So I'm probably going to set that up for sometime next week, and we'll release the next former paid webinar, and I'll release it for free. It's like a 4-hour stream. There's also like 4 parts to it. It's like parts 1, 2, and 3, but I might release it as like the single 4-hour stream. I just got to allocate 4 hours, so we can just sit there and watch through the entire 4 hours. And this way I'll be in the live chat as well. All right. Unconfiscatable, again, tickets are on sale. Tickets are on sale right now, and the price will rise tomorrow. Don't forget, price rises tomorrow for Unconfiscatable. So this is your last day to buy at these prices. And if I refresh this, there'll be less tickets available, of course. I just haven't refreshed the page. All right, daily chart. Our daily chart isn't moving. So nothing to say, guys. We are inside a channel, and the higher probability move is for a drop in the price of Bitcoin. Short-term chart, not interesting. It's not moving at all, even on an hourly basis. I like that the CMF on the hourly basis is about to break 0. That's a good sign. Also, the hourly chart topped on an MRI. Looks like it topped on an MRI sell. And if we go up a little bit, that CMF will flip, and that would be a bullish situation. The GBTC premium is still stuck at -45, GBTC discount. And I still expect that to get to 0 eventually. It's been a really tough bear market. Really tough bear. There's still a lot of bulls out there waiting for prices to rise. Oil. I expect oil to have a really big bull market next year. Gold. Gold might have a bull market as well, but I'm still waiting for it to break critical resistance. S&P 500. I am leaning slightly bullish here, which is why I'm more confident in Bitcoin. Of course, the S&P can crash, but it doesn't have to. I am slightly leaning more bullish than most people on the S&P. And the daily correlation chart, again, is not that interesting right now because neither market is moving. Silver. Oh, someone asked me to look at the 2-week chart. We'll look at silver real quick. I mean, I have silver as a pre-save chart. Silver's been rising. Very interesting. I'm a little surprised. I am generally more bearish silver than I am bullish silver. I think gold's great, but I'm not that high on silver. Remember, gold made a new all-time high in 2020, 2021 area. Silver did not. You know, gold went to a new all-time high in 2022. Silver didn't even come close. So the gold-silver ratio still favors gold quite a bit. So I wouldn't put much into silver. We'll be talking about this more as the day gets closer to the next Fed call. I believe this should have been updated with how much oil has been siphoned off from the strategic oil reserve. Is PayPal stock still trading? Didn't it go private? I don't know. I don't really think anything about PayPal. What's their ticker? It looks very bearish. But PayPal's got a big problem. PayPal's now going to censor transactions based on political speech. I kind of still use PayPal because I'm used to it and it's integrated into my website, but I need to find a better alternative. I have a very low opinion of PayPal, even though I'm contributing them money with unreasonably high transaction fees. But I already integrated the system, and I'd have to pay a bunch of money to reintegrate the system, and I just don't have that right now. So I'm stuck with PayPal until I choose to get rid of them. Yeah, no, PayPal is completely dumb. Like I wish the company would collapse so that I can just switch and be forced to use something else. The chart looks terrible. It looks like a shitcoin. I really should find an alternative just to stop contributing money to PayPal with fees. And they charge ridiculous fees too. So we can see that we continue to siphon off strategic oil reserve. Clearly, it's for political purposes, not emergency purposes. And we are now down to 375 million barrels on something that used to have, over 700 million barrels not that long ago. So we have depleted over 50% of our strategic oil reserve. So we had 726 million barrels in like 2010, 2011. And now we're down to 375. We're getting close to the lowest it's been, well, ever, right? Like the data starts in 1982. So it's been 40 years and we're going to get down to 270, right? Because I think the president controls this, and we're still going to have, someone that controls the president for 2 more years, and they drag this thing down. I mean, they can deplete it to 0 by the time the next election happens. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. You need to find that website. Which website? This website? I mean, it's an easy Google search. It's right there. You can see it in EIA.gov. So the moment this stops falling, expect oil prices to rise. And the moment this number stops falling, and we don't know when it's going to stop falling, but eventually it will, right? There is a 0 bound here. The moment it stops falling and it flattens out, oil starts to rise. The moment this starts rising, oil's gonna start rocking, rock to the upside. Uranium. I don't have a uranium opinion. I really don't have a uranium opinion. Look, guys, PayPal is just too integrated. It's integrated with my business bank account, my personal bank account. It's integrated with my shopping cart. It's integrated with my taxes. They make it fairly simple. So, I mean, PayPal is, I just have it too integrated. And unless I have to, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time and a bunch of money overhauling a system to sell conference tickets. Had I started with Stripe, would have been different. All right, by the way, the best gift for a Bitcoin maximalist are these collector cards. The Telegram group is just getting more and more people. The Telegram group is now up to 130 people. Half the boxes have been sold. And I may buy a few more boxes because I haven't pulled my own card yet. So it's super cool. I mean, what's a ticker for uranium? Do I have it in my sectors or commodities or something? Is this uranium? Uranium futures. Well, they topped on a weekly MRI sell. More reason to buy the MRI. That would have been useful. And it's in no man's land. I have no opinion. The chart looks bullish. It's a bullish looking chart. Uranium is as high as it's been since, well, it also last time it topped big time was in 2011 and also on an MRI sell. I mean, the chart looks bullish. I don't care for NFTs. Really don't care for NFTs. I like these NFTs. I like the collectible cards. They have a physical component. It's like the old school basketball cards. There's my card. There's only 100 of these cards, and I'm like watching people pull them out of their packs. Like I think like 5 or 6 have already been discovered out of 100. All right, you want to talk about tequila, guys? This is my spreadsheet that I'm doing. I make the print smaller, but then you won't be able to see it. So like everyone kept asking me for like the tequilas. I mean, it's still a work in progress, and it's so hard to explain like good tequilas from bad tequilas. So this is a spreadsheet I'm working on. So if you're trying to get like a really good gift, but the thing is, like these top like 10 tequilas, you can't find them anywhere. Like good luck finding it outside of Mexico. Well, you can find it in Mexico, maybe, but good luck finding it outside of Mexico. Like I know one bar in Miami that always has Fortaleza on South Beach. I know one bar in New York that always seems to have 1, 2, 3 organic, which is great. The bar that seems to always have 1, 2, 3 organic. It's like in near Chinatown. It's like by Grand Street in Manhattan. And Fortaleza is a really cool bar in South Beach that has it. It's how's the name of it? That carries Fortaleza. Oh man, what's the name of it? I forgot already. It's like on 21st Street. Oh man. A beginner's options class. Well, the first video is really a beginner's. Yeah, beginner's options class. Well, no, the options class is beginners. It literally, so if you're interested in an options class, I hope this isn't my database. That's what I'm worried about. No, it's not. If you go to learn trading, nope, not learn trading, sorry. If you go to products and services on demand videos, oh shoot, I never raised the price of the options class. Hey guys, I'm raising this price tomorrow. It's going back to 2000. So your last shot. I'll even throw in a 1-hour consulting call if you buy this for 1,500. I'll throw in a 1-hour consulting call. Like you buy this, well, today really kind of putting you on the spot. Anyone that buys it, it is for beginners. It's 3 days long. It covers like definition of what is an option. It really is for beginners. If you've never traded options before, but you want to learn, understand options, and maybe trade options, this is the course. It starts assuming you have zero knowledge of what an option is. And I'll throw in a 1-hour private call. If you have questions, if you want to discuss stuff. Yeah, so I'm making this guide. It's not final yet. I'm still, first of all, I'm still adding tequilas, and I'm not done looking at all the rankings. I obviously have not pasted them all, but I'm making this list so that I know which ones I should be going out and trying to buy, especially since I'll be in Mexico next month. So I want to bring some back. So it's kind of obvious with the color grid. The more dark the red, you probably shouldn't buy it. So it's also price based as well. Like if someone asks me, Tone, what's the best tequila? I'll tell them the Don Julio Ultimate Reserva, which is like $650, right? But like, how is that helpful? So if anyone that says what's the best tequila, the question makes no sense. Also, I haven't even added Tears of Lorena, because they only make an extra añejo. That's like a $300 bottle. That's going to be one of the best as well. So the question is, what is the best tequila for the price? Or what is the best tequila on a shelf, right? So you have top shelf tequilas, you have mid shelf tequilas, and then you have low shelf tequilas, right? So a lot of it is how much you want to spend. If all you have is like $25 or $30 and you want a really good tequila, I mean, you're gonna go for art. All right. So that's that one I tried. That one's pretty good. But don't confuse it with the higher end Aret tequila, which will set you back more. But it's also a good tequila for its class, mid shelf. Okay. If you want the best tequila, it's Fortaleza or Siete Ligas or G4. But you have to find them, and that's not easy. Like, good luck finding these. Like, I was in a giant like liquor warehouse in New Jersey the other day. They didn't have anything here. They didn't have anything from my top 10. They actually didn't have any. Oh, they might have had Ocho. So they didn't have anything from the top 8. Like the top 8 weren't there. And if they were there, right, only the Blanco was there. And I don't like Blanco. I don't like unaged tequilas. Like, so I never buy this column. So that's another thing, right? Like if you're trying to decide, like for example, you want to get Kona tequila. This is like, these are some of the best Blanco tequilas. Like this is going for $65. This one is going for $55. So yeah, you can get me the Siete Lingas Blanco tequila. It'll be impressive. But I would rather drink even like one of these. Like we can go to like the bottom shelf, the Arete Añejo for $45. Like I would rather drink this. Like I really like I like the longer aged tequilas. So the extra añejos and the añejos, reposados. I'm starting to even be less interested in the reposado, and I'm sticking to just añejo and extra añejo. But I don't want a terrible extra añejo, right? Like El Jimador, añejo is not good. It's just not good, and most bars have it. It's a cheap $30 añejo. So yeah, I would rather drink like a $40, $50 Blanco than a $30 añejo. But surprisingly, the tequila you'll buy in Costco, they're giant bottles. Like the silver is 1.75 liters, and it's only $20. And I would never drink this straight, but it's good to mix stuff with. So I just know tequilas, right? So hopefully once I make the spreadsheet and I make a proper guide, and over here it'll be common brands that you can buy in most stores. Here will be top 5 brands. And this is my attempt to do it by bottle, which was way too difficult and way too complicated. I wanted to know how long they are aged. So this has been my hobby like the last month. Like the celebrity brands, they're all terrible, by the way. They're all completely terrible. I mean, Casamigos and Código are the only ones that are decent. Probably Casamigos should not be that high up. I gotta move this below that. But like this is like the only decent brand. But the rest are just absolutely terrible. Don't ever buy them. Don't ever buy a celebrity tequila. They're all terrible. The Rocks tequila is now popular everywhere. It is not good. It is not good. Do not buy those. Also, like Casa Dragones, super expensive tequila. It is literally made from it's literally extracted with chemicals. It uses chemical extraction. So this is the complication, right? Like I don't know how many people I'm losing right now talking about tequilas, but you have a brand. Right now, that brand can use high quality agave or low quality agave. The agave is supposed to be grown for 10 years before it's used in the tequila, but a lot of brands cheat. Like some of these brands, I don't know what Casa Dragonas does. Maybe they wait 11, 12 years before harnessing the plant. Or if they're like Souza, they wait like 4 years before harnessing the plant, where the over-under is supposed to be 10 years. In order to make a good tequila, you're supposed to grow the plant for 10 years. A lot of companies, they cheat and they extract the plant out of the ground early. Then how are you making your tequila? Are you using a brick oven, a stone or a brick oven? Are you like cooking it with fire, the old school way? Are you using an autoclave, which is like a giant high pressure cooker? Or are you using a diffuser or chemicals? So this is the worst. Oven is the best. And autoclave is somewhere in the middle. And you'll see, like the lower we go down the list, within each shelf, especially at the bottom shelf, you see more diffuser chemicals versus oven. When you use an oven, it's a way more quality product. Then it's a matter of, does your tequila have additives or is it additive free? I don't know if I should change this to additives, yes or no. I should probably do that. Instead of putting additives free, I should flip this. This should be additives. Additives. Yeah, I think that's better. Additives. So you want this to be no. So all the yeses should be no's. Additives, no. So you don't want your tequila to have additives. And this one would be yes. And I still haven't gotten through the rest of them. So initially, I wasn't going to have the spreadsheet this wide, but I'm like, how do I do that, right? So I was going to put it in bold if it's added, if it's, I had like a legend here. I don't know, I'm enjoying doing this research because now when I show up at a liquor store, I can just open this spreadsheet, or I'm going to take a screenshot of this, like I get a picture. And well, once this is completed, I'll like tweet it out and stuff. Are there tequilas without sulfites? Well, yeah, the ones that have no additives should have no sulfites, no nothing. Should be completely clean and pure. Like I gotta find out if Casa Noble has additives or not. It's a really cheap tequila for the quality. Well, like it's a high quality tequila at a really low price. That's what brings it all the way up the list. It may not be the best top shelf tequila. It's one of the lower ones, but look at the price. You can get an extra añejo for under $120. My favorite extra añejo is the Herradura Selection Suprema. I'll be drinking this tonight at the New Year's party here in Panama. I can buy this bottle at the Panama City airport for $230. That is an amazing deal. Amazing deal. Spreadsheet for cigars. I gotta ask someone else to do that. I would love a spreadsheet for cigars, but there's so many cigars. Oh my god! Like there's also so many tequilas. I'm not gonna go more than 100 lines deep here. I think this spreadsheet will probably make it to 100 lines eventually, but then there'll be, the more common brands and the top brands, just like, top 5 from each category. But like I said, for me, I don't like unaged tequilas. I don't like cristalinos. I like añejos, extra añejos, and then keep an eye on special barrels. So these are, this is the zone where I'm at. So, when Bitcoin is 50,000 or above, I'll be on a mission to go to Mexico and bring back a whole case of the Fortaleza Añejo. The other day, I was going to my friend's Christmas party. I was at the liquor store. I bought the El Mayor Añejo. This was $32. I got this one for $32 in New Jersey at a place called World of Liquor in Elizabeth, New Jersey, right next to the airport. It's right next to, not next to, but like 10-minute drive from the EWR airport. I was able to get this bottle for $32. It's a great deal. It's a mid-shelf tequila. It's an añejo. I will certainly buy it over this Plata right here. I really hated this one. I almost want to put it in red. I bought this. I'm like, oh, wow. I love the Reserva de Familia Extra Añejo. It's one of my favorite tequilas as well. And I decided to be cheap. I was landing in Singapore, and this tequila was like $200. And this one was like 70, 80. And I'm like, well, it should be good. I got it. The person I got it for loved it. But for me, it was terrible. I just don't like silver tequilas. I will drink this one all day long. The El Mayor for $32. This one for 65. I was struggling. I was like, oh no, let's switch to wine. And I bought it too. This is why I need to try more of these. I'm making this red because I really didn't like it. And it was super expensive. Adictivo is a really interesting one. It's expensive. And it's really weird, right? Because it's made in an old school way. And they're super long aged. Like this one here is actually 7 years. That's a 7-year age bottle, which is insane. Normally they're like 3 to 4 years. And the problem is they use additives, but they use additives to make it like sweet and super tasty. So if you're a noob, and this is where I make notes. So if you're like, this is an amazing tequila for a noob. If you're not a tequila drinker and you get them one of these, they're going to love it. But you give this tequila to like a professional, they're going to go like, what is wrong with you? It has too many sweeteners. to make it taste good, but they make it properly. It's a good tequila. They just decided to, hey, we're gonna make the proper tequila, but then we're gonna make it taste extra sweet by adding additives. And like I said, it's amazing for noobs, but not great for aficionados. There's no mezcal on the list. I'm not a mezcal person. I've only drinking mezcal like 3 times. Eastside Tony, hey brother. Window Jane Ocho. Oh yeah, open that one tonight. Yeah, I was drinking Ocho the other night in Miami. It wasn't añejo, it was an Ocho añejo right here. And by the way, there's a really good website. So I'm linking to that website, right? So you can go, and that's what I mean. And some of these have so many, like for example, Asombroso, super expensive tequila. And they have so many bottles. It's the one that's shaped like a penis. So you can, so I'm putting links into the spreadsheet. So you can click on it and it will take you to, oh, why didn't that work? Yeah, it's redirecting. There it is. That's some browser like that. But it also has sweeteners and it's super overpriced. Like some of these are like $3,000. Like this one, 11-year aged. It's probably like a $5,000 bottle of tequila. Like it. Some of them are aged in port barrels. I mean, they get really creative, right? Like I can't put every single bottle of tequila in these things. But yeah, I don't have a link to that one yet. But yeah, but this is a family reserva, right? So this is another tricky one. I'm not a Scotch person. I'm not. And I don't know what the good ones are. So this is interesting, right? Like, for example, this is the Jose Cuervo brand. This is incredible. This is one of my favorite tequilas. And look, they even like, this is the experts give it 83. Community rating is 86. This is incredible. This I can't stand. This is the one I said I couldn't stand it. I bought this. Terrible. I would give it lower than 67. Like for me, this is like 45, right? For me, this is, well, this is not even drinkable. This is battery acid, basically. So look at this. Panel gave it, professionals gave it 35, and community gives it 45, right? Like these things here, like this is basically battery acid. Like this is not even agave. This is 51% agave and 49% like corn ethanol or something. Well, like this is not meant to be drinkable. So Jose Cuervo has like all these lines, right? They have the Reserva de Familia, they have the Añejo, the Plata, which is silver unaged. This is aged like 4 years. And they also have the Reposado right here. I haven't had this one yet, but I don't want to. Then they have their middle brand. That's their traditional, right? So this is their high end. Their high end is supposed to be great, but this is the only one that's good. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. I've never, that's, like there's a lot of them are like special barrels, only like 200 of these. Jose Cuervo 250. There's probably only 250 bottles of this, and it's probably super good. It's probably extra aged on top of this or something like that. And then they have this traditional brand, which is mediocre. It's definitely better than this, than the Especial. But even the mediocre brand is still terrible, right? So like this like is insane. Like any bar that even has this, you should never go to that bar. I mean, they want to poison you or something. This is okay. This is for a bottom shelf tequila. I mean, it's still terrible. I mean, I had to put it all the way near the bottom. It's not as bad as Sauza or Herbitos, but like it doesn't matter. Like this is just battery acid. That's the special. That's the one you see at most bars. This is why everyone hates tequila. That and like these two brands is where everyone hates tequila. 1800 is terrible. Should never buy that. But then you have like I'd rather drink Costco tequila than like 1800 or Cazadores. And then you have things like Olmeca Altos, which is a super cheap tequila, and it's really good. I actually think it's oven, and I think it's additive free. Additives, no, I think so. I think so, and you can check, right? So this is such an under the radar brand. So you can go. Oh, where is it? Oh, Olmeca Altos. Right, so you can go by brand, you can go by bottle, right? You only have 3, right? But if you click on the plata, no, see, it probably has additives, so maybe, but it's using a stone brick oven, so additives, maybe. We're not sure. Probably yes, but I gotta double check on the maybes. I don't know what Chat GPG is. I highly doubt it would change the world. What do you want me to talk about crypto? There's nothing interesting in crypto. There's no price action. We can talk about crypto, but it's just not interesting. I talk about crypto all day, every day. I'm tired of talking about crypto, guys. I don't know if Ugly Old Goat will be in Las Vegas. Probably. I haven't asked him yet. But yeah, I have Olmeca as one of the top low shelf tequilas. I have it right there with Espolon and Arete. I mean, these are my 3 best low shelf tequilas. So if you only want to spend $30 or $40 on a bottle, this is the bottle you would buy. Though, like I said, I was able to buy El Hamayor Añejo for $32. And I can buy this. Sometimes this is $500, but I can buy it for $230 in Panama Airport. Guys, I barely have time to speak with my friends in chat. Why would I waste time speaking to an AI? Speak to your friends. Stop speaking to AI. Go talk to your friends. Yeah, but don't ever drink Blanco straight, right? Like if you're gonna drink a Blanco straight, it has to be one of these top 10. Like if it's not, or not even Don Julio, like I wouldn't drink Don Julio straight. Like one of these top 12. So if you're gonna drink a Blanco straight, it's gotta be one of these. Okay. But I wouldn't even do that. Like this is the borderline. Like Reposado is borderline for me to drink straight. Like or on ice or on the rocks or something. So Reposado is my borderline to drink on the rocks. So I need añejo or an extra añejo. Okay. You can impress people with an expensive extra añejo. You can impress people with a cheap extra añejo. But a cheap extra añejo is still going to be amazing because it's aged. Like this one here, the Casa Nobel. This one is 6 years. It's aged 6 years, I think. I have it here by the bottle. 60 months, 5 years. Sorry. Age 60 months, 5 years, 5-year age. Great option. I really should put like the year in here. So this should be I can just put EA because I need space. 5 year, right? Extra añejo 5 year. And I know the selection Suprema is 49 months. So that's so 4 years would be 48. So it's pretty much 4 years. So that's a 4 year. 4 year age. And the 1942 is not even an extra añejo, right? That one's 30 months. So that one is less than 3 years. So that's 2.5 years. It's good. It's overpriced and overhyped, but it's a really good tequila. You know, I would rather have the Patron extra añejo for half the price sometimes, if you can find it. How much is that aged? Patron extra añejo, 36, so 3 years, aged 3 years. So the Patron extra añejo is aged 3 years. But the Patron Paris, Piedra, that was Parida. Patron. Yeah, Pedra. 48 months. So that one's 4 years. So you see the difference, right? But that bottle is way more expensive. This is a 4 year bottle. 4 years. But you got to remember, right? Like before they even start the process, the agave has to grow for a decade. So you have to grow the agave for a decade, then you age it 4 years. That's why tequila is so expensive. Like when you make scotch, you can grow that shit within a year, right? I mean, gin is just a bunch of grass fermented. There is some risk in GBTC, but I think GBTC is undervalued. Whoa, did Valkyrie really announce that? I gotta look that up. That would be awesome. But yeah, this has been my pet project for the last month, because I really wanted to get something decent out by Christmas and New Year's for my friends. So next year, once this is early next year, once this is finalized, you can now go confidently shopping for a proper tequila. But you're not going to find the first 10. Like, good luck with that. I mean, tequila ocho, you'll be able to find. That one's good. That one's good. I might move the order around and stuff. All right, guys, any questions? I gotta get like a tequila aficionado on my stream. I started following a few of them lately on my with YouTube. Like again, if you look at who I follow, I started following this guy for tequilas. I mean, I generally agree from my experience. And there's one more. I don't know if I followed it or not. It was a really good video. I have it linked here. I should probably follow this channel also. Like this explains the tequila making process. So Yeah, I'm gonna set it to faster speed real quick. Don't know what you want.
Get into test results. Let's talk a bit about the process for a moment. With an old school traditional brick oven, the process of steam cooking can take a long time, usually around 36 hours, and then another day or so longer for the agaves to cool down. Since time is money, this process is more expensive when compared to other faster cooking processes, such as the autoclave. These are giant steel tubes that can cook agaves under intense steam pressure in about 8 hours. They can also cook more agaves at a time. So this is a big saver of time and money. Many tequila distilleries today use autoclaves. But is there a faster way? Oh, you bet. This is a diffuser. We don't have specific details about how diffusers work because most tequila distilleries would rather not reveal that they use one at all and rarely allow people to tour their distillery. But we do know some things. So just for fun, we created this artist's rendition of the process. In short, there aren't very many people needed when you have a
So
diffuser.
this is what you don't want to drink, basically.
The diffuser is a machine about the size of a basketball court. Then it inverses the traditional tequila making process, all in the name of efficiency. So instead of cooking first and then separating the sugars from the fibers, a diffuser extracts the starches first, using blasts of high pressure water that rip through the whole agaves as they pass through on a conveyor belt. The cooking process, or hydrolysis, happens later on. In some cases, there is no cooking at all, and the agaves are soaked in a bath of hydrochloric acid, which chemically converts the starches to sugars. Instead,
What, you heard that? Like they bathe it in hydrochloric acid to extract the anyway. Well, like if your tequila is made with the diffuser, run away. Do not buy that tequila.
This is the way that most agave nectars are made. And instead of using acid, some diffuser-made products use high-pressure vertical autoclaves that boil the starch-filled slurry coming out of the diffuser, which is what then converts the starches into sugars. Using a diffuser is the fastest and cheapest way to produce tequila. Most of the big tequila brands have switched to using this method because, well, it just looks really great on the bottom line. So what does all of this mean? Brands that use a diffuser will say that there is no difference in quality. Well, the only way to find out if that is true is by conducting a blind taste test. So let's review those results. We gave blind samples to 32 members of the Tequila Matchmaker tasting panel. This particular group of experienced tequila tasters were chosen for their ability to rate all types of tequila fairly. 78% were male, 22% were female. 75% were tequila aficionados, and the other 25% were bartenders. The lineup included 6 tequilas, all of them produced in the Tequila Valley region of Jalisco, followed by diffuser.
Right. So basically, when you put stuff in a blind taste test for like professionals, they'll always rank the stone brick. Not always, but generally, this is the tequila that you want. Autoclave is your second option, and the diffuser is your third option. But this goes into how you make the tequila. It has nothing to do with aging, has nothing to do with did these companies extract their tequilas early? Like if this company is using a brick oven, but they're not waiting 10 years for the agave plant to mature, it's not going to taste very good. Meanwhile, if this autoclave is waiting 10 years and they have a low pressure autoclave, it can taste super good. That's why, though, you will always see the oven options with no additives at the top. But this is a whole special case. This is, I mean, you can Google this one. That's a whole special case. It's not, it's a, they don't really make their own, like it, anyway, it's a weird case. Art known tequilas they're different. But then you do have an autoclave, that sneaks in there. Down Fulano, which I was really surprised at, that it's using an autoclave. Yeah. Missing Clase Azul on the list. Yeah, I do need to add Clase Azul. I actually haven't looked it up yet. It's gonna be low. It 100% uses additives, and it's super expensive. So my guess is the Clase Azul is gonna be somewhere above Casa Dragones. I haven't even put it up yet. I haven't even looked it up yet. I am curious though. I have not looked it up yet. Two. Clase Azul, there it is. I haven't even I haven't done much research on it. I'm curious. Oh my God, look at the experts. They freaking hate this thing. Wow. I thought it would score higher. So here's what happens, right? The reason there is such a disparity over here, 81 and 66, Well, one of the reasons is because most people know what they're buying and they're paying so much money for it. They don't want to admit that they've made a mistake. So they give it a very high ranking, like 86. The other reason is because the community is not tequila aficionados. And this tequila uses a lot of sweeteners. So it tastes amazing. It's not natural. Okay. So that's why you get this giant disparity. Okay. Now, this bottle is also super expensive. It is a bigger bottle. I think it's a 1 liter bottle. I got to check on the size of that bottle. But it definitely uses additives. And it does use a stone brick oven. So at least it's made properly. At least it's not using an autoclave. That's good. More about just the silver. Yep. But you still have an additives problem. And look at this disparity, right? Like, look at this. Meanwhile, if you go to something like, and I'm sure, look, the experts aren't like always right either, right? I have to keep that in mind. I also have my own taste in here as well. But then if you go to something like, which I've never tasted, by the way, I'm dying to try it. I've never even heard of this until I started doing the spreadsheet. Pasote, look at this. So the community is actually ranking it a little bit lower than the experts, but they're still ranking it super high. The community is ranking this actually higher than Class Azul is being ranked by the community. Now, the community could also be biased. They can hate the fact that they paid so much money for the tequila. But look at the expert rating on this one. Like, again, I hate Plata. I would never buy this, right? But I would buy Reposado or Añejo. And this one is in my mid-shelf category. You know, and it comes in. I mean, like, this could be a top shelf, but no one's heard of this. I've never heard of it. Yeah, but Terramana, that's the rocks tequila. You really want to stay away from, I mean, if it's a present, it's a present, right? But you really want to stay away from, again, I haven't even looked it up yet. There's just so many tequilas. I haven't even looked up the brand yet. And there's other websites you can, like, you know, check this on. And while the Añejo is at least a little bit decent, I mean, it's better ranked than Class Azul by the experts. I like talking about this stuff. There's not much to talk about in crypto. I know you guys come here for a crypto channel, but what is there to talk about in crypto? We'll do a dedicated stream for tequila. I gotta get a tequila expert on one day. All right, guys. I'm gonna get ready for New Year's. Tone, do you miss that gal in Aruba? I'm not sure what you mean by gal. G-A-L. Is it a place? Is it a slang for girl? Like, I'm not sure what you mean by G-A-L. Kai asked the question. Look, I am leaning to the fact, any input on Tate. So I'm not a fan of Andrew Tate. Like I'm sorry, I know he's the most popular darling since Elon Musk, but I've never been a fan of Andrew Tate. I've just never been a fan. I was never a fan of Andrew Tate. So I don't really have much of an opinion. We need to see evidence. Is it true? I mean, if it's true, then yeah, he should be canceled, right? If what he's accused of is true, of If the accusation in Romania is true, but also they've been, following him for like 6 months, right? If the accusation is true, the people need to cancel. Oh, gal equals girl. No comment, but you can keep an eye on my Instagram this New Year's. Oh, people saw her at the end of my streams. Yeah, well, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen her more often. Her name is Pats. You can follow her on Instagram too. Zuby or Tate? Oh, it's not even close. Zuby is one of my favorite people. Zuby is one of my favorite people in the space. Zuby is amazing, but I'm not a fan of Tate. Yeah, GPTC looks attractive. So does, like I said, so does Bitfarms to me. If Bitcoin goes down, yeah, of course Bitfarms will go down. If Bitcoin goes down a lot, Bitfarms can go out of business. Is it suspicious to me because it just seems? Look, of course it's suspicious, right? Everything is suspicious, but here's the thing, right? Like, we know the accusation on Julian Assange was bullshit. I don't know if this accusation is factual, and this is a real accusation. Like what happened with Julian Assange is, even if the accusation was true, the accusation is still bullshit. In Andrew Tate's case, if the accusation is even borderline true, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like with Julian Assange, the accusation was the condom broke, right? I mean, that's ridiculous to arrest someone because the condom broke, right? He wasn't arrested for, I don't want to say certain words, right? He wasn't arrested for, I don't want to say the R word. I don't know how YouTube algorithm is gonna interpret it, right? Like Julian Assange was having consensual sex and the condom broke. That's not exactly arrestable, okay? But the accusation on Tate are serious. Like, even if proven false, even if, I'm sorry, not proven false, even if he's not ultimately arrested for it, if it was a true accusation, but he got out of it, it's still a big problem. Andrew Tate called it months in advance, but you also have to remember, right? Like, for example, if you're doing illegal shit and you are you have millions of followers, of course you're gonna be up there claiming they're coming after me, right? Like, if Andrew Tate knew that he was doing something illegal and he knew that they were watching him and he knew they were going to arrest him, I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried could have claimed the same thing. He's like, they all hate me, they're gonna come after me, watch, they're gonna arrest me. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you didn't do something illegal, right? So Andrew, like a person calling something months in advance when they know they were committing a crime, is like, don't give them a medal for that, right? So the question is, did he do what they're accusing him of, and how strong is that evidence? And if that evidence is strong, but he has the ability to get out of it, like the Kobe Bryant case, basically, back in the day. Like, let's not give someone a medal for calling out that they're going to arrest them when you knew they were going to arrest them on something that could potentially be a legitimate, horrendous charge, right? Like, you got to think about this stuff rationally. Apparently, he was released. I don't know what the latest story is. Like, remember, they also arrested his brother too, right? They arrested them both, and his brother is not, as popular as he is. Yeah, he's charged with human trafficking in Romania. Again, is it a real charge or a bullshit charge? Like remember what's his name? The 3D gun guy, Cody Wilson. Now, this to me is a bullshit charge. Cody Wilson. Like this was a bullshit charge. What was the headline? News. Where is the sex with a minor crime? Right. So here it is. He pleaded guilty to the sex case, right? So he was arrested for having sex with a minor, 16-year-old, right? But he didn't know she was 16. Okay. He met her through a dating site, and the dating site is for 18 and up. So how is he supposed to know she's 16? So he met her through a dating site where, and he did pay her for sex. So he admitted to that, right? That's why he pleaded guilty. But he didn't know she was 16. So to me, this is a bullshit charge. I mean, yeah, paying for sex is a real charge. Not everywhere. Somewhere it's a crime, somewhere it's not a crime. But they got him on this. I mean, they didn't get him on this. It was a combination of the two, but it was mostly the 16-year-old part, right? But well, like the one that should have gotten arrested was the guy who runs the website, the guy who runs the app. They clearly didn't do proper KYC on who's on their website. And so this to me is a bit of a bullshit charge. How is he supposed to know she's 16? But the Andrew Tate one, that's a serious accusation. And apparently it's been a 6-month investigative case. So they need to bring their evidence and we'll see. So I'm not going to assume that it's, it's bullshit just to, take them out. Why would they SWAT him only to let him go hours later? That's a really good question. I'm surprised at that. I don't know. Like, you would assume if they're going to make that kind of arrest, he ain't getting out. I don't know. Maybe the president called. Maybe the US president called. I don't know. Maybe Biden's handler called. I don't know. I don't know. If governments have so much real estate, why wouldn't they sell that and pay off debt? Because it won't look good if they sell, let's say, the Grand Canyon National Park to the Chinese. People might get a little upset. Maybe a little more upset than they would if there's national debt. It's hard. Love your comment. Yeah, Shruti, you probably do need Chat GPT. That's a really good question, Shruti, but I'm not going to get into it today. Like, which country should do good for humanity? Russia is being demonized like crazy. Not Russia, like Russians are being demonized to some unreasonable levels. Yeah, guys, I'm just going to wait till I recognize that the market's bottom, and then these streams are going to become a lot more interesting and a lot more bullish. Yeah, Zuby is one of my favorite people in the world. I never even heard of venture theta until like 3 months ago. CCP owes damages for the virus. Oh, you haven't seen nothing yet. See, China just opened up. China just opened up their population to travel, and they've been on a zero COVID policy. So you have 1.4 billion Chinese that never got the Omicron, which is the safest form of COVID, to spread through the population and give them natural immunity. So you're about to see COVID spike across the freaking world, like as bad as 2020 was. So shit's about to hit the fan when it comes to COVID. So get ready for that. The world ain't locking down again either, thank God. So, because no one's going to put up with mask bullshit again. But we're about to have some serious COVID levels. And let's not get into if you're safe or if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. See, not being able to let natural immunity spread through your population is going to end very badly. And since we know the vaccine takes away your natural immunity, and the Chinese were very diligent in vaccinating everyone with their vaccine, though I'm not sure if their vaccine is mRNA or not, probably not. It's also possible the Chinese vaccine actually did nothing to them. Because unlike the West, whose interest is, reduce the world population, the Chinese want to take over the world. So their goal is to increase the Chinese population in the world. And if you've seen the movie Died Suddenly, you know what the vaccine did. And Chinese interests are not to reduce the number of Chinese living in this world. They want to dominate the world. So it's very likely the Chinese, I'm just guessing. I'm just doing a reasoning, right? This is called logical reasoning. Is the Chinese COVID vaccine mRNA? I bet you it's not. Oh, they did approve Pfizer. Wow, really? Not in their country, though, but only for some foreigners. Right, okay. Right. There's no way China would approve an Pfizer in their country. It's only they're allowing foreigners with this vaccine to enter. China's COVID vaccine. Chinese vaccines are not mRNA. What a surprise. I did not know that. It's 1 day ago. But this is logical reasoning. Again, I can't talk about this too much because of censorship. The logical reasoning tells you, and Russian vaccine is not mRNA either, right? Russia only has like 170 million people. They can't afford to lose half the population. So they already lost like 10% of the population escaping the draft. So Russia ain't doing mRNA. China isn't doing mRNA. Only the West is doing mRNA. They would love to inject the mRNA into the Russians and into the Chinese, but they're not going to allow them. They'll allow foreigners to enter the country that have an mRNA vaccine. China will. I don't think there is a mandate for Russia, but no one's going there anyway. Right. See, the Chinese will develop mRNA vaccines, and Indonesians can stick them in, but not the Chinese. Like China will make you whatever you want. I mean, China makes fentanyl, for God's sakes. That's not legal in China. They'll make it. They're pretty opportunistic. Hey, you want me to make you poison and you can stick it into yourself? Yeah, sure. We got all kinds of factories. We got infinite number of people that will make you any kind of poison you like. So like you can inject that into yourself, but we're not going to put it into our population. That's China. Like, that's actually pretty damn smart if you're, the Chinese government. Right. The one-child policy was, but at those times, China wasn't interested in taking over the world. Those were different times. That was a different China. Very different China. Remember, that was the China of let's burn all of our ships because we have the world's biggest navy, but we don't want to have the world's biggest navy. So China once had the world's biggest navy, and they decided to burn all of their ships. So those were stupid policies of the old mentality of the Chinese. We just want to be unnoticed and left alone. The current mentality of the Chinese, well, we're going to be the next global superpower. And in order to do that, you actually need a bigger population. China would love to have a bigger population. They still have 1.4 billion people. That's still a lot of people. But the current mentality of the Chinese leadership is we can take over the world. But that wasn't their mentality back when the one-child policy was around. Oh, yeah, no, the Chinese have a big population. They can certainly experiment on their people, but they're not going to experiment in mass. They're going to experiment selectively. They're not going to inject their entire population with something that may kill half of them. They're not going to do that, right? But they'll certainly do it for a concentrated group, let's say 1,000 people, 10,000 people. But yeah, there was no way that the Chinese vaccine was going to have mRNA. I mean, that was obvious. That's an obvious law. That's just straight up obvious logic. My guess is their vaccine barely did anything to them. That's just my guess. My guess is the Chinese vaccine does almost nothing. But what they should have done was allow Omicron to spread through the population, creating natural immunity. But I didn't do that. So now, when the Chinese start traveling all around the world, COVID is going to spread rampantly through the countries. This is why the United States is probably going to put a ban on Chinese visitors, something that the Democrats yelled at Trump for when he tried to do that early in the pandemic. And now I think they're going to U.S. to halt Chinese. Yeah, U.S. suspends China flights. Yeah, of course they will. Oh, no, that was recently, yeah. No, what is this? In response to what? The Taiwan thing or no? No, I need newer news. U.S. to suspend China tourism. Yeah, I think this is. I think it's going to happen like next month. Right. So, COVID travel curbs against Chinese visitors, discriminatory state media. Yeah, so now China is screaming it's discrimination, but I think that they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it. I think the United States will, and many countries will hold Chinese flights. They locked down their population for years. They never got immunity to the virus. I mean, again, this is just basic logic. And they probably have variants like we're not prepared for, because they skipped Omicron. That was the safe one. That was the one you want to get infected with if you're going to get infected. So I think a lot of people are about to get sick, in my opinion. But the world's not going to shut down again. No one's going for that shit again. CCP owns Biden. No, they actually don't. They used to own Biden, but not anymore. See, they used to own Biden when he was the vice president, but not anymore, because first of all, it doesn't matter if the CCP owns Biden. Biden's not in charge. That's one thing. Second of all, we already know that China can't release any more dirt on Hunter Biden. There's not enough room to release any more dirt on Hunter Biden. So China no longer has the Bidens in their pockets. That's why the Democrats have actually been a bigger pain in the ass for China than Trump was. Like, Xi Jinping hates Biden more than he hates Trump right now. Like, look, Pelosi is going to Taiwan and like causing all this shit. Tone, do you think the US has reached herd immunity? Yes, I do think the US has reached herd immunity, but not from the Chinese variants of COVID, because they skipped Omicron. This is my non-professional opinion on COVID. We've reached herd immunity for the West version of the virus, not the East version of the virus, because the Chinese decided to skip 2 years or 1 year in lockdown. I'd love to talk about climate change, but not today. See, Trump only pissed off China with economics, and China can afford the economics. What Biden's doing is geopolitical pissing off China, and that's dangerous. That can lead to war. What Trump did was never going to lead to war. Trump was just negotiating economics. The Biden administration is really screwing things up geopolitically. I don't have time to get into the Constitution stuff from Trump. Wow, our washing numbers are going up, but I got to get ready for New Year's, guys. But thanks for hanging out with me. Look, Taiwan could have stayed exactly as it is for like another 20, 30, 40 years. But based on what's happened in the last 2 years, Taiwan will probably be full China by end of decade. Like, everything the current administration has done in the last 2 years is to hand over global power to China, like at 2 to 3x speed. China was going to take over the world eventually. It was probably going to be closer to 2050. But from what the current administration has done in the last 2 years, they've literally cut that time in half. Instead of 2050, it's going to be closer to 2030, 2035. And if they keep going this way for the next 2 years, it's going to be closer to 2028, 2032 for full takeover of the world by China. That's basically what these last 2 years have done. It's insane. It's completely insane. Completely insane. Oh, by the way, a friend of mine sent me this article. Wait, which friend? Hold on. Where are we here? Here we go. A friend Saint sent this over. It's actually old. It's 2 years old. Cool article. You can Google for it. Here's the title: How the Banner Cycle Predicts 100+ years of market movement. It's actually pretty cool. You know, guys know I'm a big cycle guy. I like Martin Armstrong, even though I'm like 5 months behind on his blog again. And here's the full chart when he created it. He created this chart. Here it is. I can't zoom in on that. So he created this chart in like the mid 1600s. When was it? 1875 or something. And I mean, he took it back to 1780. So it's basically one of these cycles. And this article was published in, at the end of last year. So it was published a year ago. So this is December 2021. Now we're December 2022. And this is the same chart. You know, it's the same chart from 120 years ago. Nothing's changed. You can see 1999 right there and 2019 right there. So super interesting. Here's the chart. So it called for, you know, good times and a bull market between 2012 into 2019, with a bit of a downside from 2016 into 2023, right? But you got to look at it on a bigger scale, right? So there is a nice upswing into 2019, and around 2019 we'd have a top. Well, market stopped a little bit later, but 2020 was a disastrous year, and now 2023 is supposed to be, you know, when the markets start to reverse. Here in 2023, go up for up to 3 years, then go down for up to 6 years, and then in 2032 they reverse again. Now I think we're gonna beat the all-time highs in the next, you know, 3 years. Maybe go a little bit hot past 2026. But yeah, it's an interesting chart. Did fairly well, falling the top, 1999. But again, right, it's calling 1999 as a top year. It could be January 99. It could also be December 99. If it's January 99, that's a terrible call. If it's December 99, it's a great call, right? Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. All right, it's almost 3 p.m. Eastern time. I'm in Panama. I got to be at a party by 9 p.m. Hope you guys enjoyed the tequila chat. I enjoyed it. Well, I've spent a whole month making this graph, so yeah, I enjoy talking about it. And Unconfiscatable. This event will sell out. I guarantee you it's going to get sell out, because we have 1 year to sell tickets, and all we have to do is sell 400 tickets. Even if the price of Bitcoin goes down for the next 6 months, we're still going to sell out, because the event is only $500 if you buy your ticket today, and $650 if you buy it tomorrow. So if you're on the edge of buying it, you really want to do it today. Could you speak on stable coins? I don't know. You need a specific question. Someone is DMing me on Telegram. You need a specific question. I don't know what you want me to say about stable coins. Stable coins come with an inherent risk. The inherent risk is the underlying, who's holding the underlying dollars? How are they holding the underlying dollars? Are you holding your stable coins at an exchange? Is it an algorithmic stable coin? If it's an algorithmic stable coin, it is a scam. It is like the algorithmic price of gold. Would you invest into gold if it's algorithmically priced? Of course not, right? you want your gold to be backed by physical gold. You don't want it to be algorithmically priced. So all algorithmic stable coins are scams by default. You shouldn't hold your stable coins on an exchange. That's just straight up dangerous. That adds exchange risk. And then you have the risk from the company that manages your stable coin. Tether is always, in the limelight. And then you have USDC as well. But there's not much difference between Tether and USDC. If the regulators love USDC, they may shut Tether down. If those that are holding your dollars for USDC decide to steal them and run away, well, good luck with that, which can also happen. All right, guys, I got to call it a day. Don't forget about the poker tournament also. Poker tournament always sells out. The only time poker tournament didn't sell out is when we did it in the middle of COVID in 2020. Poker sold out last year. It sold out our first year, and it's going to sell out this year. Absolutely, I guarantee. So if you click on the celebrity poker tournament, you can go ahead and get in on the poker game. We have 99 seats left. I think it's a little less than that, but yeah, I got to lower this because I got to save some seats for some professional players. But I'm going to lower this number. I'm not going to. I'm going to reserve a few seats for a few people, and we'll always sell the last 10 seats last minute anyway. There's always a wait list for the tournament. The tournament is 0.3 Bitcoin. That's not going to change. It will always be 0.03 Bitcoin. If Bitcoin crashes in price, if Bitcoin goes up in price, it'll be 0.03 Bitcoin. I don't even know why there is a US dollar, why it's showing it to you in US dollars. But you can't pay in US dollars. There's only one payment option. That's it. So don't wait for the price of Bitcoin to rise because it won't matter. It'll be 0.03. That's the price. It's denominated in Bitcoin. First place, 1 Bitcoin. First place gets 1 Bitcoin. Second place, less than that. We don't take a cut. There's no rake. There's no fee. There's nothing. We get a sponsor that covers the expenses. And when it sells out, all 3 Bitcoin will be given away as prizes to the final table, to those that make it to the final table. All right. Same thing with Carnivory Dinner. This is going to sell out super quick. Right now, we're selling Carnivory Dinner almost as fast as the conference. And Carnivory Dinner only has 100 seats, and the conference has 400 seats. So you can do the math. I expect Carnivory to sell out by April. And then we're done. Oh, there should be like a registration form on here. I got to refresh my page. I gotta restart the computer. Want a conference in Europe? Probably never. I'm not a fan of Europe, guys. I have one European country that I like, and that's Portugal. Portugal. If it's in Portugal, I'll consider it. Tequila tasting sidebar. Can't afford it right now. Sorry. But it's fun. Yeah, we'll consider it. If I can get a tequila sponsor, we can do a tequila tasting at the Carnivory Dinner. So everyone will be drunk as hell. I can maybe charge for that, like $100 to participate in a tequila tasting contest. And then you get to rate tequilas. And we're only going to put up good tequilas, like high quality tequilas. But also, like, how do you do a proper tasting contest, right? There's like 100 tequilas on this list, right? You can't taste 100 tequilas. Like you won't make it. You'll die. So I got to choose like maybe 10 tequilas. But it sounds like a great idea, though. We're going to have a chess tournament on Saturday. I got to add that to the website. Yeah, unconfiscatable tickets go up to 650. There might be a few discount codes floating around, but maybe. But they're not going to drop the price back to 500. They'll save you like maybe $50. Again, maybe on that too. Damn it. Right. Just managed to cut my leg on the chair. That sucks. Like to the point that there's blood. I'm like, why is this like bothering me all of a sudden? I was too excited, so I didn't feel when I did that. All right. All right, guys, that's it. No more. I took a break from talking all this crypto. Thank you all for watching. Sign up for the conference. It's going to be a great time. Talk to you all in the next one. Bye, guys.